Greetings, YouTube. The Doctor is in. Dr. Urias Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons & Dragons. And today on the Doctor Spell Prognosis, we're talking about the Spell Summon Undead. We're giving this one a solid A. I've got a couple of reasons for that. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment. All right, Summon Undead is a third level spell that is usable by Warlocks and Wizards. Didn't quite all appear there. It takes one action, has a range of 90 feet like most of these. So this is one of these, another one of these summon spells where we get a stat block. So it's verbal, somatic, and material component. The material component is a gilded skull worth 300 gold pieces that does not disappear, so you can use that over and over and over again. It lasts for an hour. It's concentration. You do want to concentrate on this. You call forth an undead spirit. It manifests in an unoccupied space that you can see within range, which is 90 feet. And then it's got the stat blocks in the stat blocks below. And you choose whether it's ghostly, putrid, or skeletal. Now, we're going to go over those because there's two that are better than the other one. And one is really good. So the spirit resembles an undead creature with the chosen form, which determines certain traits in its stat block, and then it disappears if it goes to 0 hit points. It's an ally to you and your companions. It shares your initiative count, and it takes turns immediately after yours, and you can tell it what to do for free. And that's one of the main reasons I like these spells, because you can tell these things to do something for free. If you don't tell it to do something, it takes the dodge action, it moves out of the way, and you can upcast this. And things in the stat block go up when you upcast it. And you do kind of want to upcast this one. The third level one is pretty good. The fourth level one is really good because of a couple of things. So, it starts out with an armor class plus the level of the spell. So 14, if you cast it as a fourth level, it's 15. It will have, if it's ghostly or putrid, it will have 30 hit points. If it's skeletal, it will only have 20 hit points. And then 10 hit points for each spell level above third. So if you cast at fourth level, it'll have 40 or 30. If it's not ghostly, then it has a speed of 30. If it's ghostly, it has a fly speed of 40. And it can hover. That's great. Immune to necrotic and poison, exhaustion, frightened, paralysis, poison, dark vision. So, as creature abilities, if you choose Putrid, it gets the Festering Aura. Any creature other than you that starts its turn within 5 feet of the spirit must succeed on a Constitution saving throw against your spell DC or be poisoned. So you can summon this thing next to a creature, which is the way I would do it, and then force them to make a Constitution save. Constitution saves are pretty easy to make for most creatures. The highest stat that most creatures have is strength, and then it's constitution. So odds are they're going to make that particular saving throw. But it is against your spell DC. That's another reason why I like these types of spells, because they do force things to make saving throws against your spell DC. And if your spell DC is high enough, which it should be, you should make it as high as you can get it. Then it can be very difficult. So Poison creature has disadvantage on all attack rolls and ability checks. So, the other ability is if it's a ghost, not only can it fly and hover, but the spirit can move through other creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. If it ends its turn inside an object, it is shunted to the nearest unoccupied space and takes a d10 of force damage. So, you can have it go through things, it just can't end there, which is great. So, it can't end inside of an object. I don't know why they changed that from 3rd edition and 4th edition, but they did. Okay, so actions, it gets multi-attack. Now, if you cast this as a 3rd level spell, it only gets 1 attack. If you cast it as a 2nd level spell, all these get 2 attacks. Now, if it's a ghostly creature, it gets Deathly Touch, which is a melee weapon attack, your spell attack modifier to hit, 1 creature, 1d8 plus 3 plus the spell's level and necrotic damage. So that is going to be on average, if it's a 3rd level spell, about 10 to 11 points. If it's a 4th level spell, then it's going to be 11 to 12 points. But if it's 4th level, it gets 2 attacks. So 24 points of damage is pretty good for just a chumpy, kind of 4th level creature that you're throwing out there. But the most important thing about this is, and the creature must make a wisdom saving throw against your spell DC or be frightened of the undead until the end of the target's next turn. Frighten means that it has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight, which is basically the same as poisoned. And it's a wisdom saving throw, which makes it even better. And the creature cannot willingly move close to the source of its fear. So that is, frightened is one of my favorite conditions. It is probably one of the better conditions you want to drop on things in D&D, in 5th edition D&D, of course. So the ghost gets a lot of hit points. It can fly. It gets incorporeal passage, and it can do damage and frighten things, which is awesome. Now, if you pick the skeleton, which the skeleton doesn't get as many hit points, and it doesn't get anything else other than Grave Bolt. So it's a ranged attack with 150 feet, and it does 2d4 plus 3 plus the spell's level. So about 11 points of damage or 12 points of damage if you upcast it. Skeleton is the least powerful of the 3. And then the last one is for Putrid only. So the Putrid gets the Festering Aura and the Rotting Claw and the increased hit points. You attack. It's 1d6 plus 3 plus the spell's level and slashing damage. If the target is poisoned, it must succeed on a Constitution saving throw against your spell DC or be paralyzed until the end of the next turn, which is great, but getting it poisoned is going to be a problem. A lot of creatures are immune to poison, and a lot of creatures have high Constitution saving throws. But paralysis means the paralyzed creature is incapacitated and can't move or speak. Any attack that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet. If you can get that combo to go off, it's really great. Now, there's 2 classes that can use this, Warlock and Wizard. What do I suggest for Warlock? I suggest that you take the Undead Warlock because it comes along with the Frighten stuff when you try and hit things. So that works really well with this Deathly Touch. But the Wizard, for Wizard, I also suggest School of Divination. So you get the Portent dice, and you can cause things to fail a saving throw versus this. If you happen to have levels in Bard, you can take the College of Eloquence and take the Unsettling Words to give things penalties to the saving throws. So you could get, Festering probably would be a good choice in that instance, where you could get things to fail that Constitution saving throw and fail the Constitution saving throw again so that they're poisoned and paralyzed. All right, that's what I got for everybody today. I hope everybody enjoyed, and I will catch everybody later.